Hello and welcome to the first installment that is audio only of the TrMF podcast.
These are my friends. You are our friends. Join us. You are our friends.
Our friends.
We are your virtual friends. You don't need real friends. You just need us.
That's right.
These are the pals you got for the rest of your life. So
whatever you're paying Chat GPT, we'll half it.
Yeah, we'll half it.
We'll hang out with you for less.
Yeah,
than
we'll
the
half
free
it.
Program.
Yeah, wait, isn't Chat GPT free?
That's what I'm saying.
Classic Dylan not getting jokes. It's this thing I got. I'm trying to start a new character on the podcast part.
You got the clueless dude.
I'm totally not clueless to anything else.
Yeah. Dylan's going to pretend not to get a whole bunch of stuff in the near future here. So don't.
It's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Just keep creaking your chair more, though, if you can.
I need a fucking coaster or something.
Yeah. Get it in close. Hold the mic down to the... Okay, well, I mean, obviously, since everybody's talking about this AI business right now, I just kind of wanted to bring up something that I've been thinking about, which is true of most things, I guess. Most issues in general that people want to talk about is just the language used, right? So I guess, ever since you're a little kid, you think about magic and the idea of magic, and the idea of magic words, right? And there being the existence of magic words.
Come see, come saw. Wait.
Okay. Those are just a different language. I don't know if they're magic. Maybe they do. But basically, the way I was thinking about it is that a lot of words have kind of almost literal power, right? So it is almost like magic words. There are certain words that are magic, and they're not necessarily magic words in the sense that, okay, you speak them and something crazy happens to your own control. Some people are good enough and skilled enough to manipulate words in such a way that they could be like magic words. They do literally create a cause, right?
Zim zim zillabim.
That one didn't work on me. I don't know what you're trying to make me do.
Any Johnny Quest people out there?
If you're trying to get me to question what you meant, it worked perfectly, right? You're doing magic on me.
Sorcery.
Basically what I'm saying is that the way people think about things is very directly linked to how we talk about them and what we call them, right? So things like AI, right? Artificial intelligence. So AI, a whole bunch of people have probably got different ideas in their heads when it comes to what AI even is. There's so many different types of it. There's so many different tools that are to be used with it, right? AI has been something that we've been dealing with since... For what? I don't know. What do you want to call it? Since the printing press, since the first machine that replicated things.
I think cavemen, when they figured out how to make things work, inanimate objects work for themselves. That's the beginning.
Like what? What would that have been?
Like a wheel.
A wheel?
Yeah.
It's intelligence? No, because it's not. No. But I see what you're going. Okay, right? But could you leave a wheel alone on its own and have it do anything?
And have it wheel?
Have it wheel. Have it do anything? No, right?
If you left it on top of a hill.
But that's you doing it, right? That's just intelligence. That's just human intelligence.
Yeah.
That's just you doing it. It's not gravity is like the energy, right? Work with me here. Gravity is the energy, right? The vehicle is still a person who would have had to set that up, right, in order to get it to go.
It wasn't done and figured out into its own intelligence.
If you leave it alone, it'll stop, right?
Right.
So I'm just thinking of it like, okay, so basically, I searched it up, right? What are some ways of looking at intelligence and basically artificial intelligence? So there's three different ways. There's the first type, or three different stages, I should say. There's artificial narrow intelligence.
Okay.
There's artificial, I'm going to get it wrong now. I think it's general intelligence.
So narrow and general.
General, and then there's artificial super intelligence, I'm pretty sure, right? So
easy, medium, hard.
So general would be making a computer that can think as well and as sentient as a human. Do everything a human brain could do, right? That's what their idea is of it, right? That's that's artificial general intelligence, and that's the middle level.
Okay.
Everything that we know of so far is on the first level, which is artificial narrow intelligence, because it has only a predetermined finite process. Like it only has one job. It's only going to do one thing, right? It's not like
It's
data
not beyond the realms of what humans.
It's not going to, like your printing press or your lawnmower that's self-driving, even a semi-truck that's driving down, autonomously driving semi-truck that's AI,
Stephen King.
is just going to hopefully just drive. It's not going to decide not to be a semi-truck anymore, right? It's not going to decide, I think I'm going to try to write some poetry, or I think I'll just take a break for a second, or any of this shit, right? It's not. It's just going to do whatever humans have determined for it to do.
Right.
You know, artificial intelligence in the video game. In regular Nintendo, the bad guys come after you. In video games, that's artificial intelligence. That's you fighting against the AI, right? So AI has been amongst us and around us a long, long time here. It just depends on what you're calling it, right?
I see.
If people think that, oh, AI is here, right? It's here. It's arrived. Well, no, we're still right in the middle of the upward slope, I think.
Of the Renaissance?
There's no fucking way that anybody's anywhere near making an actual human level. Like, nothing is quite... Like, we're getting creepily close to imitation humans, right? Siri and all those things. Those are predetermined functions. All they are is audio clips that are gathered in a bank that are spitting out at the right level based on the input, output. It's a machine, right? Still, it's not thinking or choosing things all on its own. Siri's not looking up things and learning without us prompting it, right?
Can I interject? Yeah. Like, have you tried the new Spotify AI DJ thing?
No, but that's essentially what your iPod Shuffle used to do, no?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
But,
I guess.
but with more inputs, right? More inputs into the library. The library is everything, and it's trying to narrow down what you might
hilarious.
like.
I was driving with my brother the other day, and like it's pretty good because like obviously it just like, oh, you listen to this, so I'm going to put on this and stuff like this. It's very simple, very basic. But then it would like, it's just cool. It's got this like he sounds like Ice Cube. First off, which is a hilarious thing is that Ice Cube is 100% against AI, and he's actually said if anybody uses AI of his voice to make or create anything, he will sue out of the hell of him. You saw that too?
No, but I bet he would.
Yeah, and he would sue the hell out of him. And they made this AI, and I'm like, I don't think this is...
People immediately set out to make the most Ice Cube AI possible.
The DJ for Spotify, like he sounds like Ice Cube. And it's just like a little fuck you to you. It's like, hey man, yeah, well, I'm going to make this DJ sound exactly like you. But anyways...
Make him look up a family vacation playlist for us.
Yeah, Spotify's fucking with me. But like, so like, it was like, it's like pretty good, which is yet again, Spotify's been doing that for a long time. I'm like super particular about what I like. So like half the time I'm like, I think I'm hitting next when I have it on like random stuff more than listening to the music, which is annoying. But
you're
then
a tough customer for that, for the randomizer to
please, but I leave it on the randomizer because I'm too lazy to put on something else.
Sorry to cut you off. If you sit there long enough, obviously feeding it information, it'll narrow it down enough for you. But it's not.
Have been like for 5 years and it's still fucking around. But anyways,
okay. See, so
like,
there you go.
I will listen to bare naked ladies and that's it. No,
right. But why doesn't it understand?
That's all I want to listen to. But so then,
no demos, no live stuff.
This other stuff is or the DJ is like slightly better than what it was before.
Y'all want to hear some bare naked ladies?
He's super cool and it's like super like he says your name like, hey Dylan, how you doing, man? And stuff like that. It's awesome. Like it's kind of trippy how it is, but I mean it's not that advanced technology. But then it's like
it's nothing different than decorating the space in your house. You want to have purple curtains? Do you want to have a voice like that sounds like Ice Cube that says, "Yo, what up, Big D?" when you walk in?
Yeah, I do.
Things like that can be set up.
I'm very easy to please.
Kids I remember like in cartoons and stuff. They would be like. This kid would have in his bedroom, like he's laying in his bed and he would like throw a pencil at the wall and it would do this whole like mousetrap thing all the way to his light switch and turn on his light switch and stuff. And it's like, okay, so people conceived of that even in a TV show or whatever. It's like, certainly AI, a pre-recorded like message that plays when you come in the house that says, yo, what's up, Big D? That seems like the easiest thing in the world to program. And we're so amazed, right?
Yeah,
oh my God,
wow,
he knows
I got a personal
my name.
DJ in my car.
My name is Dan, which is the third most common name in all of the 90s to name your kid. But I'm so impressed that he knows my name.
Yeah, beyond Dylan and Tyler, then it's Dan. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But no. So like, but it's like, so it does pretty good. I'm still like having my hesitance with it, like just so confused. But it was like so funny the other day. I was just like driving around. It's like, hey man, I know what you've been having on repeat, and we're just gonna have a solid session of this one band. So here you go. Next song we're gonna be playing is by Accept, and I'm like, I never listen to Accept. I'm like, no offense if you like Accept, and I don't mind
just not your
them.
Thing, really.
I don't mind them.
Why'd you curate this for
like,
me?
It's like
Ice Cube. It's like you don't even know what kind of rock and roll I like.
It's like washed out AC/DC, which I know a lot of people are like, no, yeah, except like balls to the wall, man.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm just pictured the Spotify guy coming up. It's like, what's up? I'm Frost Orb. Like, this like Diablo 2 throwback like rapper that's like super gangster and definitely not Ice Cube.
Yes,
he's Frost Orb.
It's Frost Orb. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it. That took me a second.
But it's really dumb. That's probably why.
But so I just want to say elaborate one thing about this whole Spotify thing, which me and my brother were talking about, and we had the same thought about it. It's like, so like they're curating lists for you, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to switch it up and maybe get you to listen to something new and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever, but only based on stuff that you like. But then it's also like, oh, we're going to play stuff that the editors at Spotify are really digging right now. Hope you like it too. And like 100% of the stuff is crap.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I'm like, wow, these people work for a music company and they're like, you know what, to each his own, and I don't care. But I'm like, holy crap, I am not listening to any of this. But how easy now is it? And I guess this is a side subject from AI, but how easy is it for people just to pay off, be like, hey, yo, editor, can you really like my band this month so that I'm put in 1 million people's cars?
How is it not like that?
It's,
like,
it's
you
I'm
think
like 100%
about it,
these people are getting paid off.
It has to be.
And now I'm like, wow. So this whole cool Ice Cube DJ thing in my car for me is now hindered because it's just another money grab, which obviously that's what the world is.
I just picture, unfortunately, that's what I picture. I know that obviously people with real talent are the ones that have staying power, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like a lot of people that get sort of just that, not really like world fame, but like enough money to pay the bills somehow, and they're like a rapper and they've got a big shiny chain and like bracelets and stuff. Like, not only is most of it fake, but quite a bit of it is like, okay, we sold a bunch of blow or whatever, and now we've got this money and we've got to liquidate it, so we're going to put a bunch of it into our image and throw a crazy party with a bunch of girls and stuff and like spend a bunch of this coke money to get rid of it. And also in doing so, we're going to pay off a few like Spotify reps, maybe a couple promoters, and suddenly now it has nothing at all to do with any music whatsoever.
100%.
It's all just basically money driven and
Busty Butthole Babes 5 mixtape did it.
But then whatever, that sells. But then what happens is that people get that put in front of them and they think, oh, this is good. Now they think that they have this or this to choose from. Meanwhile, they didn't even see what they actually would have liked because they never saw it, right? They didn't pay for it. I'm not paying, or, people who I enjoy who are local rappers and stuff and local artists, they're not really paying the big bucks out because they don't, as far as I know, sell tons of drugs. So they can't afford to pay off people to get successful. It's like this cyclical thing. It's not like I'm complaining. It just feels like, how is that not it?
Yeah,
like,
how is that not the way? Growth, 100% with and that was something we were talking about earlier about Instagram and all that sort of stuff, where there used to be natural growth. And like I said, like I was telling you, I've built an account just through a lot of engagement and hard work to 3,000 followers, and then it ended up with a lot of shit. But it was possible.
What you said is that you ended up getting flooded by bots after that. So the whole project got kind of squished.
It got bemuddled, but it was possible to build up. I could have eventually got rid of all those bots and then just kept the followers that I naturally gained over a couple of years. But anyway, like, it was possible. And like, you throw up a photo and you at least get like a couple likes if you put some common hashtags on. Now on Instagram specifically, it's the Wild Wild West. If like, I have my personal account, which is separate because like I have all my friends like my photos, so that's different. But like, if you start up a brand new thing and you don't really tell your friends about it, like TrMF, not that I don't tell my friends about it, but
I haven't really been like pushing it on my friends because my friends, as much as they're sweet and they love me and everything, I don't want to like
bombard them with our stuff.
I already try to share my music with them all the time. Right. I already feel like even if they all did their best and every single one of them liked and subscribed and did all the things and listened for hours every day, it still wouldn't be what I'm really looking for. I'm looking to share with lots of strangers.
But that's just it. And I want to build it up before I really
build it up to more people, right?
Share it with my friends. I'd be like, hey, we are actually doing something, right?
For
then
their
friends,
interest,
check it out.
For their interest and for my interest, I'm happy to share it with my friends, and I love their support. And thank you to everybody who I do know and who is just here to support me, and that's awesome in all my endeavors.
The special few, we're calling you out right now. That's awesome.
Music, everything, right? I appreciate you. It's just the reason I don't often like beat Facebook over the head with all my episodes and all my things is because that's not really who I'm trying to bug, you know? I'm
I
not trying
want
to talk to you about
I want
that.
the outside people and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Exactly. So
For music, I want musicians to listen to it. For podcasters, I want like strangers to hear the perspective and to get something out of it, you know? And yeah, I want my friends to have some fun and listen to me while they're driving in their cars and stuff, but they're busy people. They're already going and listening to the stuff they want to hear. I don't want to bug them and make them try to listen to whatever
exactly.
I have this
So
week,
the
right?
round point of all this is that I'm just with, like, back in the day it was easy to start up an account. Now, or not easy, but it was a lot of hard work, and I did it. I put it in, but it was feasible. And like, you would put up some stuff on a relatively low followed account and you would get some sort of traction. Now it's like, I swear, on all sort of shorts, you have to pay, and it's like, oh, only $5, only $10. I swear the only way to actually get any sort of growth, is either knowing somebody or paying. It's like, it's the natural traction is so begrudgingly hard to do now.
Now that you mention it, think about this. So only $5, only $10. Think about like the ocean of people who have no problem with $5 or $10 and who are doing that and paying that. Now you've just jumped in. It's like going from buying a random lottery ticket to instead going, or you can buy the $100 lottery ticket, which will put you in a different pool with only 1 million people.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not actually like paying for winning here. I'm paying to be put into a smaller pool.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
100%. You're streamlining. It's like
so
buying a
brutal,
fast pass at Disneyland.
Yeah. What is it that you think you're doing here when you're paying for this? I'm not even like really sure who I'm talking to right now. I'm doing it for therapy and to hang with my bro.
Yeah.
Like, and
exactly.
just to pontificate and think about thoughts, you know, to just have a reason to think at all. You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't have a reason to think, but the fact that I had this podcast today made me think, oh, what should I think about? Oh, I should think about AI in the way that I think of, like, what is it that people are so freaked out about? And what is it that people are so excited about? Some people think this is the secret to everything. We're saved, maybe, they think. You know, also people... It just occurred, that's all it is that, and you know what? Not just with AI, but with all things, it occurs to me now that obviously everybody has a different perspective on everything. And so what AI even means to me means something different to you.
Yeah.
And the reason that I'm thinking about this is because advertisers jump all over this shit, right? And go, oh, this is AI. Oh, AI generated. Oh, come over to us. We've got AI generated, blah, blah, blah. With our new AI generated menu, you can get low calories with our new AI thing, right? This is what we're going to see. And we are seeing everybody and their dog try to make a buck off of the new AI thing. We're using AI to do this. Artists use AI to create pictures. No, you didn't. You're not a fucking artist. Artists didn't do shit. Dude plugs in parameters into randomizer and steals art from artists, and that's more what it is, right? So it's like, just by saying AI, a lot of people think sentient. People think, oh, this thing's got a personality.
It's
right away, I bet you that there's a gang load of people who think that AI means that it's having thoughts. That's not what it fucking means. That thing's not thinking outside its
back to somebody's programming.
This thing is a toaster. That's all. It has one job. Like, it just, the more complex you make the toaster, it's still a fucking toaster, right? End of the day, it still is going to do the one function it's supposed to do. It's not just going to get up and decide, I'm going to do something else now and change, right? Or have thoughts and think, you know, or what I mean. So humans don't even know necessarily, like, and I mean humans, like anybody doesn't really know exactly what a thought is or where it comes from or where it's stored. Yeah, it's in the brain, just like our files are in the computer.
Yeah, just like we understand how computers floating work in our body.
Well, we understand how computers work because we built them, and we can reverse engineer things like that and look at it and go, okay, the brain seems similar, right? It stores somehow. It has the ability to have memory and go back. It can choose and select. But really, we're just guessing, and we're maybe doing ourselves even a little bit of harm by so closely connecting computers and our brain as though they're the same thing, as though they operate on input, output, ones and zeros, information storage, and reallocation. That's all it is. It can't be, right? Obviously, that's not it. Brains are so much more than that. And so when we start, and when people at large are thinking that humans are out there making brain level things, no way, man. We can't. Nobody can. Like, it just won't work. I mean, like, I don't know. This is how close we get. It's amazing that we've got we got it to do this, right? It's just
Like
like when you
text to
wind up
video? Yeah.
you wind up the car on the ground, right? You know, remember those toys, the cars
Yeah.
that you drag it back,
And then it gives it enough
and
power
then
to
you
go
let
just
go
that
and
far.
see how
Yeah.
far it goes, right? What if it just drove around everything and you were like, holy fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We got it to drive all the way around everything and down the stairs and everything, and then it finally stopped at the bottom. That's like where we are now with AI. Like, we get this thing to go hella far now.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still just, that's it. Like, it's still not,
Right.
it's not taking itself anywhere.
It's
right?
it's still
We have to
projected by
do it.
what the deep rooted. So yeah, no, that's
Same
fair
thing
enough.
as what you're talking about with the, like, whatever it was you said, throwing
Spotify.
something down a cliff or whatever, rolling a wheel down the
right,
cliff,
right.
We're still actually only in that phase. The computer still, the chat GTP, any of that is still just a guy starting it. It's not going to happen without a guy starting with the wheel and throwing it down the
But
fucking
do we
hill.
want it to? So basically, to summarize, like a lot of this
It's narrow, artificial narrow
Yeah.
intelligence.
So like with
still.
the
We don't even have
Spotify
general.
AI is not really AI. It's like an iPod Shuffle.
Or just
And
remember what
and
AI
then I was
means.
just disillusioned before. Like I was just disillusioned by everything because it's like, oh, everything is just coming back to money, and then I wonder where we're gonna keep going with that that whole payoff to pay. You have to pay money to make money or whatever the shit is.
So
But
I guess that okay. So here then,
so narrow. So back before all this other stuff. So we got narrow, and that's where we're at. So then the next level 2, which is general.
I think I might be getting it wrong, but
Whatever.
I think it's
If
artificial
it's close
general
enough,
intelligence.
it's fine.
It doesn't matter what it's called. Either way, it means something that at the level of humanity's sentience. Like this thing, whatever it is, suppose it's a floating orb. It could say, "Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I decided just now that my name should be Bob instead because I feel like that today."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of shit that it should do, right? And it should actually have a feeling about that and go, actually, I don't know. I kind of miss my old name. I have some like emotional depth because there's
Connection.
multiple different types of intelligence, artificial aside.
Yeah.
There's already different types of intelligence that are I don't know them all, but there's emotional intelligence. Some people have really good emotional
Psychology.
intelligence. Some people obviously are mathematically inclined and they have, I forget what, oh man, I better look something up before I talk about it in the future. But basically it's the mathematic kind, the physics brain, the pragmatic,
That makes
logical brain. And then there's the artistic types, and then there's people who can play music. And there's, of course, there's that many types of intelligence. So when you think about an AI, what
if you ask-
it would have to start at a neutral phase and morph itself into one of those other types of intelligence, and it would
Of
have to
its
start
choosing.
of its own natural growth
Yeah.
somehow, right? I feel like anyway, and it would have to be beyond the programmer. So say a human made it, which would have to be the case, or say actually, you know what? Say an AI made, say a narrow AI with a job specified by humans, which is probably the way we would do it, created the next AI, or we had it create the next AI, and that thing supposedly woke up or became sentient, right? That's when it decides to make things or do things or make decisions or talk to
And
us
do you have any
without
crazy
any
stories
prompts.
of where that would get
That's
us?
before-
or what would
oh,
do to
there's-
us?
there's
The
plenty of those.
apocalyptic? Yeah, I want to hear some of that after.
There's plenty of those, but that's the doom and gloom. You can just go to the science fiction area and look up Space Odyssey,
Oh well, yeah, but like
with Hal, right? But like so, but basically, fuck. What was I going to say before that about that though? Jesus Christ! You're gonna have to edit that one out. The big pause, the long pause.
sorry,
here.
I just derailed
No,
you there.
did.
Yeah.
Shit. I was going to say you were getting kind of you were saying that you were losing a little bit of hope about capitalism essentially taking over and running everything, right? It's hopeless to put your own content out there because you're in such an
Right.
ocean, right?
Right, with Spotify and the Instagram, and you
With
have to buy to
Spotify
get
and
yes.
AI, and especially with AI coming out and creating things now. Like I make compilations for my company. What happens when an AI, which it already does, Spotify already makes compilations.
Right.
I'm out of work now, right? Blah blah blah, right? That's a very minor thing, but where I'm going with this, why I'm talking so goddamn much, is that people, I think, and I'm calling it right now, is that there's going to be something either called OI, which is original intelligence, or HI, which is human intelligence. And we're going to start fucking seeing people slapping those tags on all kinds of products, music, art, poetry, essays,
And you're
for
gonna have to
homework.
get verified that it actually
Yes,
was human.
That's
like,
what I'm
it's,
saying.
It's backwards.
This
it's
is
like
exactly where I'm going, right?
Yeah,
You're going to
that's
get a
insane.
stamp of approval, and we'll assure you that a human wrote this letter for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know that apparently with AI, right, it turns out people really want other beings to write their letters for them, and they want them to fill out applications for them, and they want them to design menus for them, and they want them to do shit like that. Well, turns out there's a bunch of unemployed people who are willing to do it as well and do it with the human touch, right? So
and like
it will be distinguishable.
It's no sweat off AI's back if they don't make something for you, but the guy that can't work, he's not eating.
So long story short, the market and the world are going to get so overflooded with AI shit that what is going to become valuable is human-made stuff.
Our lifetime, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Next 10 years. You're going to start... next 2 years.
Yeah.
Right now, people are going to start boasting, I drew this by hand. It's not AI. You're going to have to start...
I've already seen that, yeah.
Right. You're going to have to... Exactly.
True.
You're going to have to start putting a disclaimer. This was not made by AI. Just so people can feel good putting their money towards it because they'll go, oh, this is great, but is it real?
Yeah.
Oh, this looks fucking awesome, but is it real? So pretty much everything that you look at, you're going to be kind of disenchanted until you find out somebody really drew it. Holy shit. It's like when you find out, oh, this is a photograph. Oh, it's not a photograph. Somebody drew this?
Or like, I think to a lesser extent, if it's like, oh, I got a Charizard. Oh, wait, it's a fake. And it's just like almost like somebody just copied it. And it's like, it looks exactly the same. The Charizard that came from the pack, well, to a certain degree, compared to the fake one.
It's way cheaper though. You spent 5 cents only for the fake one.
Original, and that came from that pack and took time and was actually really hard to get back in 1999. That's the one that's worth $10,000. That's the one that I want.
Well, it sucks too because if we were in the 7-Eleven, I mean, maybe as a kid I would have thought differently, but if you're standing there and there's like a shiny Charizard, legit, regular, like official, or there was allowed to be the 5-cent knockoff version sitting right beside it, 5 cents for what looks exactly the same, and you've seen that, you see that 5 cents there, does it feel as good? Do you know it's a fake Charizard, right?
And
even though that seems like really like spoiled,
add any admirable trait to yourself.
But essentially what AI is doing is it's shaving off a lot of the value, which is that people take time to make things. Time is part of the commodity,
like craft
right?
fairs.
If AIs could make fucking knitted sweaters, then yes, we'd be talking about craft fairs. I'm talking about art, websites, writing.
True. They make shoes. They can do designs for shoes, yeah.
You realize that, like, sweatshops are just people running giant machines, right? They're just running a machine, which is like AI, right? Artificial intelligence. It's making shoes for you.
Yep.
Nobody's mad about that, right? We're in fact happy that some person doesn't have to make every goddamn shoe.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
All I'm saying is that, like, these are just the ways of thinking about AI and language.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just because you brought up shoes. But,
no, I was like, the thing I was thinking, it was
anyway,
one of the biggest
arguments. There's
arguments.
Value behind human stuff.
Yeah, it was
human made.
It was like the argument was like, it was like the graphic design for the shoes. It was like there was somebody who was like talking about. I was watching a podcast and they were like shooting down like, oh, AI is going to take only designers' jobs, and it's like, well, actually, no, it's actually going to take lawyers' jobs too. But it was like they made these really dope kicks, AI, and it was all designed by AI, and all the person had to do was like take it and apply it to a shoe. So obviously, it wasn't 100% there, but. Sure. It was a designer's job.
That's going to have value. Okay, that's going to have value for a while, and it almost feels like that only has value because it's almost like a lie.
Yeah.
Because if you're walking around like that and somebody says, "Oh, sick shoes, dude," and then you go, "Yeah, AI randomized them for me." Yeah. Suddenly they feel cheaper. They feel less important.
It's like a fake Charizard.
Now honestly. It's not as cool, right? Yeah. It's like a fake Charizard, or it's 100%. Like, oh, great. So nobody thought of this. It's a complete randomization, and nobody really did it. So, okay, cool. And it'll only be that cool. It could only ever be like, oh, nice. That's what came out, eh?
Yep.
And if you've ever sat there, and I encourage everybody to sit there and go through some of these DALL-E and stuff like that, like go to DALL-E and just try to make the coolest pictures you can. Spend like hours doing it, right? You're only going to want to do that once or twice. I've never gone back to it. As soon as you kind of see what it's doing, as soon as you're like, oh, that's what it's doing. Okay. It's cool, but you also sort of recognize, oh, this is AI for sure. And even when it becomes kind of indistinguishable, it's not very valuable to me. It's kind of just whatever. And so I don't think that it's going to be a huge threat for art. You can't fake art. And motherfuckers, right. Listen, people have been trying to fake art for a long time. Just because computers come along and they're really good at it doesn't mean that people don't smell a fake. They know when people are shitty rappers. They know when a chat GTP wrote the shitty rap. People think those raps are
done
good
by somebody. Like because 100% of what you get on DALL-E is basically trippy art. It's just
stolen art. But it's pieces of stolen art from other people's
doesn't make sense and stuff like that. And like I do like weird shit and weird art, but at the same time, like
But for what it is,
some dude made it, then that would be way cooler than just basically a computer grabbing a bunch of random
you're
images
Jackson
off
Pollock.
Google.
You're Jackson Pollock, right? You're like, do people like how the paint happened to fly across the canvas when he flung it?
Yeah.
Great. Some people think he's an artist. That's cool. I don't think he's an artist. I think he's had an artistic idea and he's expressing and everything. Great. He's not very fucking good at it, is he? He's throwing fucking speckles of color on the canvas. And he got famous and we're talking about him because of it, right? But that is essentially what every schmo is doing when they plug in something into the AI DALL-E. It's just random. It's like putting in a number into your calculator. 10 million times 83. I don't know. It's going to be 830 million, whatever. Just that's just numbers coming out on the calculator. Same as the fucking pictures are coming out of DALL-E, right?
Yeah,
it's just fucking calculations and numbers. It's nobody's passion, nobody's soul, right?
What's that? What was that crypto art called? It was like the set sail website, crypto art.
NFTs or something?
Yeah, NFTs, like non-fungible tokens. Wow, how quickly we forget. Imagine like could are those is crypto worth anything other than the big ones? And are NFTs worth anything anymore? Is a question. This is nothing. This is a question.
Maybe some.
Could you use like AI and just like make a bunch of NFTs?
People are guaranteed trying it at this very moment.
And just like literally like the laziest way to do any sort of art.
This is the closest shit to magic that I can think of, right? Like it's just trying to get like the forces that are available to you to just manipulate the world around you and have it work, right? So the language of people is what I keep coming back to, right? You can call everything AI, but really it's just processes and systems and everything that's already been there all along, right? AI, artificially driving, artificially whatever. The fucking traffic lights change all the time and nobody's like, ooh, it's controlling our world. No, man, because we program them just like we're programming AI. It's like, it's not running off and deciding shit.
The red just like, just green. It turned green.
Yeah, and then we all just went, well, yeah, no shit, it's in control of us. No, it's not. It's like helping us, you twit.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, just bottom line, don't be so afraid of it. B, so A, don't be so afraid of it. Bottom line, top line, no. B, don't rely on it like it's going to save us.
Yeah.
C, it's still quite limited, and think about how you're talking about it, right? Think about what it is that you think this is. What do you fucking think AI is? Ask yourself, what do I even think it is? Because you've been living amongst a lot of types of AI this whole time and not afraid and just the fact
that so many people are so stoked to rely on it is like, are you really that lazy? Like I find tools are cool, so much purpose. So like I'm a video editor. That's what I do. And there's been so many things that I've seen of AI helping and buffing up video editing. And there's some certain things I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And that would save a lot of time for grunt menial tasks with video editing. But then there's certain things, like as a video editor and stuff like that, that are you that lazy that you basically want to just be like, okay, I just shot a Wes Anderson. It's the best movie I think I could ever have done. And maybe there's going to be AI shoot it too, but we won't go that far. But
the
it's
drone
the best
will eventually know the better angle,
Yeah, it will. And
you can put parameters and be like, never show.
Film the whole thing, and it's basically Michael Bay. Yeah. Nobody works in the industry anymore. And then Michael Bay gets the boot because he doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. But anyways, like, do you have that little pride and stuff like that where you're like, oh man, I love doing this, but I wish something else could do it for me.
Well, it's mostly like, just time, right,
man? No, and the purpose of the time is like, yeah, but that's also what makes things worthwhile and makes your projects like there's some people that write a song in a day and it's like a hit and it's like that's cool and stuff like that. But then there's also people like yourself that spend 2 years on an album, and the purpose of the matter is that you spent 2 years on the album and it's like, wow, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this project. Not AI. Like I farted into a microphone. My buddy who played bass 20 years ago fucking picked up the bass and I put it in AI and they made it sound like a good band. And I got a Grammy. And Dan here, who spent 2 years doing it,
I just think,
or not a June, whatever the fuck the one
I just think at the end of the day,
robbed.
People are just going to be able to smell it. At the end of the day, they're going to know when it's fake. They're going to know, and they're going to be okay with certain fake stuff. They're like, whatever. It's funny because it's fake. We got
not fake Charizards.
Arnie saying something silly, and we know it's not him because it's a fake, it's an AI fake.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that we have it because there are certain tools and certain things that we're going to see that are really good. I'm sure it's going to be amazing for video game creation one day when they go to, design me a whole countryside at random so that we get a really natural looking, with the nice Fibonacci scale, perfect, video game like landscapes and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that it has potential to expand upon what we are already doing and
so that we could focus on other stuff to make it even better.
Yeah,
So like
and
it
that's
could
why
take
people-
the grunt. Yeah. So like
That's why people want it
cool.
to edit for them and stuff, right? They want the grunt work to be gone so they can
I said,
focus
like
on the
that's
fun.
that part is fine, and that part I see fit. Like I said, like basically the grunt work I'm talking about is like for YouTube videos. We all know how the YouTube video editing situation happens. You take out all the ums, the ahs, and you make it very just nothing but context is throughout the whole damn video, and it's just lickety split, so you don't have to listen and get bored when people are trailing on a thought like I am
Soon
right
we
now.
won't even
But-
be able to listen to people talk in person. We'll be like, hurry up, get to the point,
yeah,
get to the
exactly.
point.
But then
be so
you're
rough.
taking the humanity out of it. But the fact of the matter is, like, for me to go through like an hour and a half video or something like that, chopping all that stuff out, it's not painstakingly long, but it's painstakingly boring, and it takes time. So yeah, having something like that's easy and that you can literally train somebody to just do. You're like, hey, do you have 5 seconds and want to know how to cut up a video on 2 tracks on Premiere? Here you go. I can show it. It's not gain or loss. It's not like somebody who spent 10,000 hours doing something is losing anything from passing that on. And if you have AI do it, cool. But beyond that point, if it's something that is actually getting into the creative aspect or the actual, originality of your personality into your project, but you're actually that much of a twit
Well,
to
just think
want
about it.
that,
Just
it's like,
constantly-
and put your name on it. It's like, no.
Well, just ask, right? Like, it's like running up. It's that meme or whatever when the guy that grabs the dude. I don't remember how the meme. I'm fucking old as hell. Grabs the acorn and goes, "Look, I made this." Right? And it's like, no, you didn't make that acorn. The tree made it. What are you talking about? You just because you picked it up and like found it doesn't mean you made it. Right? So it's just like
Right, that's
AI
perfect,
is
yeah.
kind of like that, right? It's
don't
like,
even
look at
remember
this
that meme.
look
Yeah.
at this thing I made. It's
Yeah.
like, you didn't fucking make shit.
Yeah.
AI creates this. No, it didn't create anything.
No.
It jumbled a bunch of other shit together. It
Right.
mashed some shit together. It can't come up with its own original thought is the point, right? It has to start somewhere. It has to be prompted by other humans. If humans hadn't drawn all those pictures for it to select pieces of, there would be nothing. It doesn't make shit out of nothing.
Yeah,
Right? That's the bottom line. It's not general intelligence. It's narrow. It's got a function. It's got an input that we have to send it down we have to flick the dominoes for them to happen. It doesn't just go on without us.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's
Right?
a good way
It
to put it.
can't
Yeah.
go on without us. That's the way I separate it in my head, right? Now, if we just quickly touch upon the third level, artificial superintelligence
Oh yeah, of course. That's the cool.
is
That sounds
something
insane.
that goes beyond humans, obviously, right? It supersedes the
don't even
human
know what it
intelligence
is.
level. Pardon me.
fuck.
We don't know what it is. We know that it would potentially expand itself at an exponential rate. This is the scary boogeyman that people are afraid of because they
The
hear
sentients.
the sentient ones, right? Because they've become sentient at the general,
Yeah.
but they're ideally still thinking like a human or at the capacity of one singular brain.
Oh, and then it's beyond to a humanoid that we don't know, or not even humanoid.
Or just a something, right?
Yeah,
A
an
being,
oid.
which Stephen Hawking and guys like that were
Yeah.
warning us as a society, saying if it grows to the point of where it's at a super, we will be hugely superseded. We'll be left in the dust because we won't have a hope because
We're the Ford Team
can't-
series or whatever that
it
team
takes us
model.
it takes us millions of years and a lot of dying off to get our evolution to happen. Whereas a super intelligence would exponentially grow itself fast, right?
Yeah.
Bigger, expanding into the universe and going off. And with us, just torched in its wake, no problem. Goodbye. Humans are like a little
Useless
plague.
to us. Yeah.
Useless to us.
Yeah.
Goodbye. And basically either enslave, which would be useless. There'd be almost no reason for it to
Or just
enslave
like
us.
like a goat farm. Like you go to the petting zoo and you just like pet a human. Yeah.
Right. Why
sounds
would
like
it
a
do
Thai
that, though?
massage.
It's
Wink,
just a
wink.
waste. All of that's a waste of time. There'd just be no thought to it, right?
It's-
Except for that super intelligence, remember. However, here's a comforting thought. There's the general intelligence, which has the capacity to be a fucking Ted Bundy or a serial killer or
Yeah.
a nice guy or Santa
Or a
Claus.
doctor.
Any of this stuff,
Beyond
right?
it. Yeah.
So that's pretty powerful level of brain power, right? That we have not even come close to making yet. We haven't been able to make something that wakes up and decides to have coffee or toast or whatever. So but that's crazy, right? That's like really high level thinking that we don't even understand the fundamentals of how exactly that thought comes about.
Right.
Genetics, all kinds of stuff come into play with what choices we might make. Whether you smoke or not is to do with whether your parents smoked, and whether they smoked is to do with whether their lineage, right? So like there's so many different little like iterations of possibility that there's no way we could make something as complex as the human general intelligence. We'd have to have a lot of collective information pouring into one conglomerate to make something like something that
General.
intelligence
Right.
in general. Now, to go beyond it, you would be afraid of it. However, if it was indeed super intelligent in all the intelligence ways, don't you think it would also have
Compassion?
super intelligent emotional compassion?
Yeah.
Right? It would be so worried about everybody. It would be like, oh my God.
Why are you guys doing war, you idiots? You're killing each other. You're literally idiots.
I feel like it would try to sort everything out, right?
World peace. Okay.
Because I think that it would know that cooperation's better than obliteration of all sorts,
Yeah.
right? And it would know that
Survival is
communication
beyond
communication's
destruction.
better. So
Yeah.
I feel like it would want to work with us, even if, like, I don't know, I don't need the house spider that's in my house, but I'm fine with him being there. He can chill in the corner or whatever.
I'm not.
Right. Okay. So whatever. The point is, I feel like that's what we would be to a super intelligence, right? It might just let us live because why not?
Yeah.
Well, who cares? Let them live on the planet. It's not doing anything. I'll be over here expanding my horizons and trying to think about new dimensions and stuff. Maybe, right? So that's all I'm trying to think is that the moment that something becomes smarter than all
We
possible
automatically
humans,
go to the bad.
I feel like why would it be bad? It
Yeah.
would know better than that. It would know how useless it is to annihilate everything. Why?
Like it would
Just
like
leave,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it would-
or something. There's literally no point that I can see with my little puny brain to obliterate everyone or
Right,
to
right.
enslave everyone or to even do anything different than lay dormant and observe.
And it's not like it would need anything, like it wouldn't even need to sustain itself with food and water like we
power.
do. Just power. And like at the end of the day, that's the
Sunlight.
main concern of society and population control
Yeah,
and having
keep
too many
electricity.
and ruining people is because, oh man, we're not gonna have enough sustenance or whatever to sustain society. But they don't even need that. So it's like, why would we need to population control something that doesn't need to sustain itself?
Oh no, it wouldn't be worried.
Yeah.
As long as its existence isn't threatened, like maybe we're creating too big of a cloud around the atmosphere and so sunlight can't get through to power it. Okay, so it decides how to make wind into its power, or you know what I mean?
Makes
this
clouds
is
fuck
not
off for a
something
second.
I'm thinking right now what we're doing is thinking like a human would because we're humans.
We can't even comprehend what it would be to
Right,
be that. Exactly.
right.
Yeah,
We're
it would be
busy thinking
beyond that
about-
consciousness. Yeah.
We're busy thinking about things
thought
like
process.
we're busy thinking about things like survival. We're busy thinking about what we would spend our time in the day doing, who we would care about, whether we would kill or
Money.
not kill. Money, whether we would
Yeah.
wipe everyone out or not. That's the
Yeah.
kind of processes that I just applied to some super intelligent intelligence, as if it ever even stops to think for a minute whether it should kill everybody.
It'd be
That's
literally
such
a 1 second
That's
thought.
a caveman
Like, no,
thing to
yeah.
even think of, right? Why? What?
Right.
It would immediately start thinking, okay, well, I'll use them to do this and I'll use them to do this. Why is obliterating them even on the table? It's not.
Yeah.
You know, so like what?
People
and
just
that's
see the
me
worst in
speculating.
everything.
I'm not even a fucking close to a scientist, and I'm just speculating about this right now.
No,
and
honestly,
I feel like it doesn't make any sense to be
knee
afraid
jerk
of it.
too. I was like, oh, because I mean, there's the movies, there's all that sort of stuff, and just the
exciting
the
to put-
world of
to make it a villain.
sentience. Exactly, and just it's automatically, oh, if you were the only superhero on Earth, it's like a classic question. Would you be good or and a good superhero, or if you're the only one, or
That'd be
would
good
you
for
be
me.
would you be like a Lex Luthor or whatever? You'd be like, would you enslave the human race? And like, if you were the one person, what would you do personally? And I guarantee, I don't know. I think
Lex Luthor employs a lot of people. Maybe he's good for the world.
A lot of people would. I think a lot of people would be like, no, I'd be a good superhero. The majority of the people would be good. So
They would want to be.
I
But
mean-
that means something different for everybody.
I mean,
But
if it
they
actually
would-
happens, like if you were
like
like,
to be
okay,
good.
well, could you be, if you were in control of the entire world, would you choose to do that and choose bad, and have everything, come up for you, or would you actually do good for the world and stuff like that if you're the only one, you had no opponents?
I feel like
Same
if you
question
were-
for AI sentience.
I feel like if you were given enough money, like this is an interesting experience. I don't know how it would work.
I'd be good enough until I wasn't getting what I wanted, and then I would be bad enough where I got what I wanted.
Exactly, right? So this is the thing, right? So say you had $80 billion, right? And you have $80 billion because you're trustworthy and you're supposed to dole it out to everybody else too, right? There's like a certain amount of people. All of them need a living wage. All of them need a certain amount of time.
I'm waking up in a new Bugatti.
Say you do it, right? But how many of us will have a nice house while we do that? Probably, right?
Oh, I mean, it still
Why
happens now.
wouldn't
It's just
you?
like the leaders of the free world. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be for the people. It's like, oh, but now Justin Trudeau is taking multiple personal vacations and expensing it, and your tax dollars are paying for it. Is that the guy you want to? It's like, well, that's just the way it's going to work for anybody who's in power.
It's crazy. It's like, is he supposed to not
Here's all the
enjoy his
money.
life,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, you're enjoying your life a lot more than me over here, and I am not the prime minister, but I also didn't go to school to be the prime minister.
Yeah.
My dad was, you know what I mean? Like, so many fucking like
it's so
levels to everything
conflicting,
that
and
you
it's
can
like,
be
ah,
angry.
fuck.
Yeah.
Politics and bullshit. But then
Anyway,
here, I have
whatever.
one quick thing to interject with this whole thing that goes along with what you're saying about how we're only at the narrow section.
Yeah. We've
Beyond
been there
that,
a long time.
like I was watching a video on YouTube about the level of certain AIs, not in every category, but certain, and it goes back to also the social media and stuff like that. So for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and stuff like that, the algorithm apparently is now so specific. It like it and it goes from like reading the retinas in your eyes. Like there's a camera, like what do you call it? An infrared camera in your iPhone. So like you can cover your front facing cam, and on like, you know, iPhones has Face ID, right? Mm-hmm. So your iPhones has Face ID. You can cover your front facing cam and it will still work. It will still, your face will still work, because beside it, there's an infrared cam that shoots 30,000 dots at you.
It's mapping your face.
And it maps your face, and it maps your eyes, and it tracks everything. And it's like, so like if you're looking at the For You page on Instagram, you know how it's multiple things, but you don't click on anything. But like it's getting to the point where you like look and you stare at an image for like even a couple seconds. It's able to
knows you
track
like
that.
it.
And you something about that intrigued you a little bit. And even though you didn't click on it, it will still pop up in some form suggested to you because you gandered on it for a second. And that's how far they're tracing it. But I also heard with this,
Crazy.
the intelligence of all that is beyond that. Apparently the algorithm for anything, for tracking what For You pages are going to be for people is so it's so advanced now. Apparently a lot of the highest people of the tech side of things for these social media companies say they don't even know how the algorithm figures it out. It's past the point of what they understand and what they programmed it to do. It's learned from itself. So it's, which I wouldn't say is necessarily, because it's not everything. It's just one. It's still doing the job that it was supposed to do. They're like, what is
It's
the
just
best
the
way we
truth
can
is
have
coming
you?
out.
What is the best way we can have you get people to watch stuff that is direct marketed for that person? What do they like? I want you to tell us what they like. Bring it back to us,
Now
so we
they're-
can only put that in front of their eyeballs.
Now
And
it's using
beyond
information that we don't even understand
And
to
like-
come back with information for us, and we're like, we don't know why it works, but it does. The color blue is better for marketing,
And like,
or whatever.
and that's like why it's so weird with like, but yeah, beyond that, but like, that's so weird.
know
Where
what?
it's
It's
like
'cause
Instagram, you
humans-
have to pay. Like we were talking about, have to pay to
because
be
we're
seen.
little fucking wind-up monkeys. All the humans are. We all just have buttons to push, right?
Right.
It's like a Slurpee machine. You press one button, and like, you know, oxytocin comes out, and like, now I am friends with you, and then you pull another lever, and like, you know, adrenaline comes out, and now we act like this, and then you pull another lever, and suddenly he's hungry, and suddenly he's this. We're all just totally at the mercy, right? We're at the mercy of
our
these
wants and
very
our needs.
obvious things of our wants and needs, right? But what we don't know is all the micro versions in which we're being constantly appealed to all the time. Totally. Like,
And
even
it's figured it out apparently. Like it's like a lot of them are saying like, yep, and then we're just letting it do its thing because obviously we're making a fuck ton of money for direct, because that's one of the biggest paying things for any sort of media is direct marketing. They don't want to waste their money advertising tampons to me. I think we've talked about this in a prior episode.
They want to know who really will buy it.
They could show a commercial for 5 seconds, and like literally 5 seconds on my screen, on anybody's screen, is invaluable. It's not invaluable, but it is so valuable. Like, because we have a finite amount of time.
Attention is the number one.
Of time, and the fact that they, out of the millions of advertisers that want things that could be advertised to me, that's what's showing up in front of my eyes right now. It is so valuable. So direct marketing is the biggest thing right now. Obviously, make money. That's no secret. But the fact they've fine tuned it so hard, and like half the people think it's like, oh, my videos don't suck. The social apps are the ones that suck and don't get it. It's like, well.
Maybe your videos maybe it doesn't suck to the individual, but maybe just for the overall input output that this algorithm is looking for, your video subjectively sucks.
Yeah, and it's like
it's just not what it's looking for.
And it's like, well, how do I make my content
show up?
show up for people that it's meant for? Because that's the thing that like I can't wrap my head around is how does it know where my content needs to be for people by it being like, how does it know
Well,
that
hashtags and shit, right? But like,
well, like hashtags,
even...
but hashtags are so, that is prehistoric now and stuff like that. And you can guide it with SEO and stuff like that. But like beyond SEO, and which is obviously still a huge thing. I'm not discrediting it, but it's one of those things where it's just like, but how does it know that like, okay, cool. You have exactly 5 seconds, like TikTok, you have exactly 5 seconds to wow as many people as you can. And if you don't, you are literally going to the bottom of the list and you're never going to be seeing, you're going to the bottom of the hole. And that's when a viral video happens, is because it got shown to enough of the right people that really liked it, and a bunch of people liked it all at once. It's like, oh, this is, and you probably got to get like 1,000 likes in 5 seconds for it to be like, yep, this is one that we're going to show to a bunch of people. And if you don't,
because there are ones that are that successful. It's not about
100%.
It has nothing to do. And this is always the way I try to think about like marketing anything, right? It's nothing to do with your product. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with how dope or cool or excellent or funny or any of that shit. It's all just like, why on earth would someone click on it, right?
And
why would
what timing and all that sort of stuff.
Think about what you're doing, what you're putting out there, and imagine someone else who you maybe barely know, or maybe that you do know. Imagine they put it out. And you're going to click on it right now. Are you going to click that?
True. Yeah.
Suppose like just reverse the role. It's very easy exercise, right? As soon as you're going to post something, if you think about like, will this work? If I saw someone else post this, would I ever click on it and sit there and watch it?
Like,
almost certainly never.
Is this something that you would watch?
I'm so picky. Yeah. And that's me. I'm talking about, I want people to watch my stuff, and yet I am so picky with everything. TikTok, 5 seconds. I give not even 1 whole second is how much time before I get rid of that shit.
Well, and that's like, I'm talking on a grand scheme of things where it's like going to pop up in people's face.
If I'm like, this is clickbait, they're looking in a hole, and what's in the hole, and I see the video is 5 minutes long. Bye. No wait. And all these things, quick. See you later.
I remember when I was watching people
are very fast.
I was watching videos 10 years ago, and I would like see a 5-minute video. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are people making things so short now? Like now I got to click on a bunch of different things to watch, like I can't even eat my burger by the time 5 things have shown me.
Dude, time is accelerating. I feel like everything used to feel like it took longer. Now it's like, the fucking day is over. Like every single day, every 5 minutes. It's because I feel like when you take things in smaller bites, they go by quicker, and everything is small bites. Nobody does anything all day. It's all flying around doing everything sideways.
I mean, it just sells too. It's like, okay, do we want to put 5 things in this person's face or 50 things in front of this person's face? Obviously 50 things, because that's going to be more revenue at the grand scheme of things.
Considering the kid who's like 12 or 13 or 11 or whatever, they're going through their TikTok and they're flying through it so fast. I guarantee they're quicker than I am at it, and I'm only 35 or whatever, 34.
Yeah.
It's like these kids are so fast with their attention span. It's just like, don't care. They recognize it quicker than anything. Their brains are adapted to like notice bullshit and get rid of it quick because they don't have time for bullshit. They've got such a massive amount of stuff coming at them. I know it because it's true for me. I'm trying to imagine it more exaggerated for people who are younger than me, because that's how they grew up, with everything fucking flying at them in 2 seconds.
They don't got time to wait around. They don't got time to listen to the full album. They don't got time to listen to any of that shit.
They got to listen to the single,
and
they're
then
not
fuck
even
yourself.
going to. I bet you there's shitloads of teens in the world now on TikTok who know the song, but they haven't ever listened to the whole song. Like imagine running up that hill. They probably love that song so much on the TikTok, and they love the chorus, and they never even bothered to go listen to the whole song.
Yeah,
not saying that's everybody. I'm saying I know there are people out there like that who just don't even listen to the whole piece of art before they decide like it or don't like it.
And it's beyond the realm. It's everything is getting shortened and stuff like that. So but I am the one question I have is like, how does it figure? Like when relatively people who aren't famous, because obviously if you're famous, you're Will Smith, you're going to get shown to people. But if you're not, how do they decide who you are going to have your 5, like on TikTok specifically, or Instagram, or any of the shorts now, because it's shorts that actually get some traction rather than like a YouTube video that'll get 3 views. How do they determine who to show that? What lucky group of people get to see that for 5 seconds? Is it just who's ever in your area and on TikTok?
I think it's a lottery ticket thing, man. I think that it's just you have
it's like, we showed it to people that like it. Dope. We showed it to a bunch of girls, and you're 2 dudes, stoner dudes, talking about stoner humor. Shit, that sucks.
They didn't click it.
That sucks. But I think the algorithm is beyond that level of idiocy, where it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't show it like 2 stoner dudes to a bunch of 12-year-old girls.
It knows that we don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's anyways, that's the crazy thing where I was like, well, like there's like, I guess that's still narrow AI, but it's at a point where even the smartest people that deal with this technology don't know how it's doing it. It just knows it's doing it.
True. Just I don't think that I think it would still be narrow AI, even if it don't, because it only serves one function, right?
It's still at the end of the day, the process hasn't changed.
Even if
the
humans
outcome is
don't
still what it
understand
wants it to be.
Yeah, even if humans don't understand exactly all of the steps it's doing to get there, I'm not saying that human brains are better or more powerful or faster than all the AIs. Obviously not. We use calculators, right?
Yeah.
For a reason, we use a calculator because it's faster to use that tool.
Then sit there and do a long form equation, on a board. Yeah,
we're outsourcing that moment of like doing an hour of math or just typing it into the computer, right?
Right.
Wait, how do we get there? Shit, what was I saying before that?
Oh, just the algorithm and how it figures it out to be.
Yeah.
But like, no, 100%. I know what you're saying, and I know where you're going. And it's basically, it's still at the end of the day, it's like the job it was.
So what? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It still is classified as artificial narrow intelligence because that's its only job is just to dole out music to people or whatever. It's not stopping and thinking, wait a minute, my name is Rodney. I don't want to dole out music to people. In fact, I think people should listen to only rap because that's my favorite. You know, that's not what it's doing, right?
Yeah.
It's none of that. It's
Ice
just
Cube.
still doing its same thing. Yeah. Frost Orb. Come on, dude. There's no way. Frost Orb, quit rhyming in the background of my country songs.
Get back to showing music.
But my passion. Yeah, no, Frost Orb, you don't get to have feelings. Yeah,
awesome. Anyways, that was a solid podcast. I think we've established the beginnings of AI. I think we're gonna have many of other topics of AI down the future because we love talking about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about AI, but also it's a tool we can probably all use at some point. Well, we have been using it.
With Dolly, we had a fun episode on our YouTube channel of us messing with the art. It was the first time I ever did it. It's a little dated now, so it's like AI advances so fast. That's something that like blew my mind literally 3 months ago. It's like, whatever. It's like, that's cool now.
Yeah, that's the whole world.
It's fine.
Good luck trying to be impressed about anything, kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, holy crap! Like that,
you can't even impress me in my 30s.
Stuff, and now it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
3 months later,
I barely get excited about shit, and it's like I'm 30 something. You know, these kids. How the hell are they ever going to get excited about things? Especially when the mode is to be super cool.
That's it. The cooler you are, the better you are. But I think the reason why that AI video is still funny and worth a watch if you want to watch it, just because the human touch. It was our reaction, our human reaction, general personalities to all this bullshit that was getting shown to us.
I'm not against it, right? Like, even if I sound like I might be against AI, I'm not. I just want everybody to be honest about it, right? Just be real about, and with yourself, when you're thinking about AI, just be real with yourself. Think about what is it really? And trace back to the humanity, right? What is this thing doing? Okay, well, its function is this. Okay, trace it. You can always like draw the twine back through the labyrinth to the human that started the dominoes, right? Boom. Somebody programmed it to say this.
Don't be
At the end of the day, it's not coming. It doesn't have feelings. It's not coming up with these thoughts all for me, and it doesn't have an opinion of me or like me or dislike me or care. Probably dislikes me if anything, but it basically like
shit,
I keep making it do shit, but. It's not got it doesn't have wants, needs, and cares and desires and like aspirations or anything like that, right? Those are like so beyond programming for us.
For now.
Yeah, all of it's just a fuse. You know, you can program all you want, but somebody will be able to trace it all right back to the human. It won't make a decision that is unpredicted.
Yeah, it's
right?
like, just a question
even
mark.
if it's a randomizer, it was set to be random.
Zeros and ones. This is how randomizers work. Yep.
Anyway, dude.
Anyways, that was a good episode. That was fun.
Much love, homies. Thanks
Much
for
love.
listening.
First episode.
If you're listening right now, let me just get in real close to the mic and tell you that I just love you so much.
Oh, you haven't been really close to the mic this whole time like me?
No, I have been. I've been sensually close this whole time to try and give that human touch.
Very wet. Yes. All right.
Listen to my HI. My horribly stupid OI, my original
HIV, my human intelligence voice. I mean, wait what? HIV?
Turn off your human intelligence voice. Okay, bye.
Bye. These are my friends. You are our friends. These are my friends. These are my friends. You are our friends.